a lot of people were asking me yesterday in the community, Dean, don't you think that this move is going to be it, right? This is the last of the corrective waves, and we're just going to keep going down. I said, no, I don't believe so, right? I thought this was an X wave. This happened to be a wave C, right? It was a simple wave C of a larger A structure. Okay, I read that wrong, but I was still confident that this was necessary. Why? Because we hadn't tested the 786 of this sequence, whatever this was. We hadn't come to the 786 of it. And we know in Elliott wave theory that flat corrections, and what's a flat correction? It's a 335. And I saw three waves here, right? 1, 2, 3. So I knew that whatever came after had to at least retrace to the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. This is the power of a sound understanding of the technicals in Elliott wave theory. Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is February 27th, 2022, and Bitcoin is looking volatile. All right, if you're interested in finding out what I'm seeing for Bitcoin's next big move in the immediate short term, what I'm seeing after that move, when we can possibly break out of this trading range right here that we've been in for the past 2 days, and why I'm seeing what I'm seeing on the charts, then watch until the very end. All right, we are on the 1 hour time frame, and yes, I have been trading these moves successfully, right? Some decent wins, some small wins, but no losses as of yet, thankfully. Now, how have I been doing this? I have been using the precepts of Elliott wave theory to help. It's quite challenging doing this with simply the knowledge of support and resistance. Yes, we can see some simple support right here, right? And we see some resistance up here as I've drawn out. We see we have 2 touch points, so we can draw a line, but it's still difficult to know when price is going to move up and down, and violently at that, right? So let's get into how I'm able to successfully trade this. Number one, first and foremost, we kind of need a map. Why are we here? Why are we in this range, this corrective range? Okay, this is where is my pen? Where's my pen? Where's my pen? 1 second. There it is. All right, why are we in this range right here? So first and foremost, we have to find out what this is. We have an impulsive move, and according to Elliott wave theory, impulsive moves occur in 5 sequences. We get 5 waves, and once those 5 waves are up, you get 3 corrective waves. Okay, so I'm seeing Bitcoin put in 5 waves. Wave 3, usually the largest and most impulsive wave. You see that big volume bar that corroborates that, and then your final your final capitulative wave is wave 5. I'm seeing it right there. This is a little tricky because wave 5 didn't matriculate height-wise as much as it did lengthwise, but I'm using other large sort of market dominant assets to corroborate this count. BNB, for instance, Ethereum, they have more clear 5-wave structures that I use to kind of confirm this wave count. So that being said, if that is indeed correct, anything after this is corrective. So what do we know about corrective waves? Again, they come in waves of 3 or movements of 3. So you have 1, 2, 3. That first movement of 3 is your A wave, okay? That's your initial break of structure. Usually you have that initial break of structure. I'm going to redraw that. That initial break of structure targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, which is exactly what you're getting right there, okay? So the end of our wave A targets our wave 4 of the previous trend, or the region of wave 4 of the previous trend. Now, once you get that, this from here on out is naturally the B wave. Again, you're looking for 3 waves. Now, how does Elliott wave theory help us? We know that Elliott wave theory is fractal, meaning it's time frame agnostic. Even in this wave, we should have 3 waves, which we don't, which means this and this must be connected. This is one wave. We're waiting for the third leg of this B wave, right? And this is going to be an initial B wave. I don't know if it's going to be standalone, given that we do not have 3 waves here. We just have 1. So I'm looking for that to be wave 1 of 3, us to have maybe a wave 2 of 3, and then finally a wave 3 of 3, completing the B wave or the B sequence, whatever you want to call it. After which we get a pivot, and finally, well, it's not going to be that intense, an impulsive wave down to complete our wave 2 correction. So that's why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I'm basically using the precepts of Elliott wave theory, stating that every corrective sequence comes in 3, and you can break that down. Your A wave's going to come in 3, your B wave's going to come in 3, but again, each and every wave, to a certain extent, right? Obviously, you go on the smallest time frame, there may be a point at which you can't identify 3 waves, but here, there's clearly just one wave. There's no sort of break in that sequence. This is why I'm anticipating not only a move up, but after we get this move up, I'm anticipating another move down, and that to be wave 2 before a final impulse, of another pure impulse, giving us our final sort of C wave or impulsive wave of wave B. I hope that's clear and makes sense, yeah? And one of the other things is that, and that helps me quite a bit. You know, a lot of times, a lot of people were asking me yesterday in the community, Dean, don't you think that this move is going to be it, right? This is the last of the corrective waves, and we're just going to keep going down. I said, no, I don't believe so, right? I thought this was an X wave. This happened to be a wave C, right? It was a simple wave C of a larger A structure. Okay, I read that wrong, but I was still confident that this was necessary. Why? Because we hadn't tested the 786 of this sequence, whatever this was. We hadn't come to the 786 of it. And we know in Elliott wave theory that flat corrections, and what's a flat correction? It's a 3-3-5. And I saw 3 waves here, right? 1, 2, 3. So I knew that whatever came after had to at least retrace to the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. This is the power of a sound understanding of the technicals in Elliott wave theory. If you find value in that, like the video, share with others who are also interested in Elliott wave theory, also interested in sound technical analysis, and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. All right, let's get on with it. So as I said, that's what I'm seeing on the charts. Once again, I'm anticipating another move to the upside in the immediate short term. That's the next move. I'm currently in a long position. After that, I am looking for another retrace, right, to the 786 of this, because this to me seems like one wave. I could be wrong, and as candles print, I will refine my reads, but that's what I'm seeing thus far. This is how I'm preparing for volatility. This is how I can get in and out and still stay profitable and not get wicked out or get caught unawares by these large moves. The last thing I will say is, when it's all said and done, in all this up and down price action, what do I expect from Bitcoin? Very simply, once again, I'm going to make use of basic Elliott wave theory. I'm going to take the distance, the Fibonacci retracement of this entire wave A right here. Okay, I'm going to pull my Fibonacci retracement tool from the top to the bottom of wave A. Okay, and I'm going to target the 1618. Why? Because I know, according to Elliott wave theory, the B wave can only retrace to a maximum of the 1618 of the A wave. Okay, and so that's what I'm looking for as my upper limit. Not only that, we also see that we have this upper trend line. So I can also use this trend line as well as the Fibonacci retracement tool to see where I can expect upward price action to go. Right now, for instance, if we shot up immediately in this hour, I would not anticipate us to go past 40,831. Does that make sense? We have double resistance, once in this trend line and again in the Fibonacci retracement with the 1, 2, 3, 6. If we had to reach the target of 41.6, 41.5 is major resistance, by the way, for those of you following on the charts, I wouldn't anticipate that until March 1st, thereabouts, because I do see that our trend line doesn't allow for access. It obviously, price can break the trend line. I'm not saying that it can't, right? It's already touched it twice. But let's say I was assuming that, when we'd have a good chance to hit this 1618, I would say in some days, right? It would basically mean that our B wave went for some time, and around March 1st would be a propitious time for this double resistance to come into play. I hope that makes sense. I'm using basic support and resistance, basic fundamental tenets of Elliott wave theory. If you appreciate this analysis, right or wrong, please like the video, share with others, and subscribe to the channel. And that's pretty much it for me. As I said, a good tool or a good technique, what am I trying to say? A good trick is, if you have issues or some questions in your Bitcoin analysis, it's always a good idea to look at other coins in the top 10 with large market dominance to see if you don't see something similar. For instance, you can look at BNB. BNB has a really clean chart for some reason, meaning it's not too difficult to read. Like here, you see a clear 5-wave structure up. You see a clear 3-wave structure down in your A wave. You very clearly see your 5 waves up in your A wave of B. You clearly see your, let's see, what do we have here? You have a zigzag forming in BNB, meaning you have the B wave of B in this structure, whatever it is, coming to between the 0.5 and the 618. So I expect 5 waves up here to complete this wave, whatever it is. So I'm also expecting 5 waves up in Bitcoin. So that's just corroborative, right? So that's what I'm seeing on the charts. Hope this is helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe once again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe. Bye.